Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Activities for People Living at Home with Dementia. My name is Martha Brown, and I'm your volunteer with Dementia Friendly Fort Worth. We are proud to offer this series with funding from the Good morning, Dusty. Good morning. We are proud to offer this series with funding from the Area Agency on Aging and the United Way of Tarrant County. These programs are recorded and are made available for viewing through a YouTube channel for future use. I am your host for today's activities. Our topic for today is to compare COVID Christmas with past years. Dusty, it's so good to see you this morning.
Good morning.
It is a good morning. That was perfect timing. You slid in right at the start.
Yeah.
Everybody, are all of us awake now?
Yes.
No. Yes.
No.
I'm awake since 5 o'clock this morning.
I don't think I understand that word awake.
Awake? Do you have trouble with that, Paulette?
I have trouble sleeping, actually.
Oh, dear. Dear. Well, we were talking about what we were going to talk about.
Yeah.
I had some questions that I wrote down just in case. And one of my questions is, how are you finding ways to connect since we are in the Zoom era and COVID? With Christmas, how is COVID and connection different for you than Christmas past?
Well, I haven't connected much. I went down to my buddy's, Robert's, down the hall yesterday for a little bit. We had a couple of shots of Crown.
All right.
Yay.
That was it.
That's pretty good. Yeah. And since you live in the same building, you consider yourself in the same pod?
Yeah. He's about the only one I associate with. I've been associating with a group of about 5 or 6,
Uh-huh.
but since this thing is shot back up again, I've kind of just shied away from everybody but Robert.
Yeah.
You got to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
You know, if he's in the same place you are, that means he's probably under the same COVID rules you are, so you should be safe.
Exactly. About how many people live in your building, Dusty?
I don't know. I think there's like 130 apartments
Uh-huh.
and 2 buildings, so I guess they're split up pretty even.
Do they have any planned activities there that you can participate in if you choose? COVID or not?
Not now.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't have many before, but they did have a pool table that me and Robert used regularly, which is something we miss really bad.
So you can't use the pool table now?
No, we can't even go in the office without having some kind of business like redoing your lease or something like that. That's the only time they'll let you in. Can't even go in the office.
Wow. Sure. This COVID Christmas is a lot different than say last year, for instance.
Oh yeah.
Sure is.
Yeah. Paulette, how do you find this Christmas different from last?
Oh, absolutely, totally, 100% different, because we spent Thanksgiving with our daughter here in town, and we spent Christmas in California with our other daughter and her 2 kids and husband, and then we're not there this year. So yeah, it's totally different. So.
Have you found new ways to communicate with your daughters this year?
Oh, well, we do a lot of Zoom calls. We call back and forth all the time. You know, we text and email. So it's, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So Zoom is something new for you. It's new for me.
No, we've always done a Sunday call, family call, where we, the grandkids don't bother so much, but we have the 2 daughters and us and the husbands, if they want to join, hey, anybody's welcome.
Sure.
Got a photograph today of our grandson in California.
Yeah. Is it one you can share?
Now, he's 6 feet tall.
Wow.
That happened like in the last 2 weeks. He wasn't 6 feet tall a month ago. I can't
Last
believe.
Christmas, he definitely wasn't 6 feet tall.
Oh, my husband and I looked at him and said, whoa, whoa.
Is the picture on your telephone, on your phone?
Do I what?
Is the picture on your phone?
No, Bob has it.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, if you had it, you could hold it up to the camera so we could see your 6-foot grandson. If you can, that'd be great.
It's on my phone. I don't know how to find it, but
That's fine.
That's
when I
fine.
said iPhone, I told you more than I knew.
Yeah. Don and Myra, how are things different for COVID this year than last year? Or is anything different?
For us, it's really not different because it's us.
Mm-hmm.
The only real difference is usually on Thanksgiving and Christmas later in the evening, we would meet at one of our friends' house for whatever leftover dessert you have and some Baileys.
Yeah.
And clearly we're not doing that.
Yeah.
But that part's different, but it's just us. So this part's not real different.
Well, yesterday afternoon, Myra was able to go and visit with our good friends a little bit, but being safe distance and masks and stuff.
Were you outdoors?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
And we all had our mask
Yep.
on.
Uh-huh. Did you go to a park or their backyard or?
Their backyard.
Yeah, they have a big backyard.
That is so nice that people are doing that.
Yep.
I was seeing something on Facebook this morning about a family that built this huge wooden deck and put furniture all over it so their family could come and visit safely. And they would not have had that had it not been for COVID.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well,
Of course,
I
I'm
was
like,
just in the backyard with the dog. There's no reason not to be outside today. It's spectacular out.
is it?
Yes, it's lovely.
As soon as we finish, I'll open the door and stick my nose out on the patio.
There you go.
Yes, you need to get a little fresh air.
Yeah. Dusty, do you have any access to the outside?
well, I have a balcony.
Uh-huh.
Is it? I go out there sometimes, not real often. I keep saying I'm gonna go out there and spend some time, but I never do.
I'm the same way. I have a nice chair out there that's been sitting out there for 3 years. I've sat in it once.
Well, I go more often than that, but not regular.
Not regular. Mm-mm. The place where I live is built in a big square with some green space in the middle.
That's
And
that's the way this one is.
the way yours is.
Yes.
They sent out a notice a few days ago and said that anybody that lived with a patio facing inside, I don't, mine faces a parking lot, but anybody with an inside patio could go out on their patio at a certain time, and they were going to sing Christmas carols last night and then
Oh my gosh.
ring bells at 6 o'clock.
Hey, Paulette, you trying to show us something?
Pretty nice.
Well, I'm trying to.
This way.
You go.
Wow.
Perfect.
Wow.
That's our
Perfect.
grandson,
My goodness.
Wow.
He's
How old is he?
long-legged.
17, 16.
17?
He's handsome.
He sure is.
Oh,
Very
To
handsome.
you and Bob. Thank you for sharing that.
I'm trying to get him a little bit bigger, but
Oh, we saw it just.
Oh, we saw him
No,
perfectly.
we saw him perfectly, Paulette.
Yeah, it filled up the whole screen. Yeah. So Dusty, we're
oh, well, he got smaller
Yep.
again. Oh,
he
well.
got smaller. That's okay. We saw what we needed to.
Oh, here's a better picture. Here.
So Dusty, we take our family around us like we find them, don't we?
Yeah.
Yep. If
My balcony unfortunately faces a parking lot too.
yeah.
Some of them sit out and holler at each other.
You know how old people gossip. I think,
No, really?
Really?
well, I've always thought so. Let's see the boy, and then I'll continue.
A little closer.
A little closer.
Okay,
Wait a minute. Hang
moving
it.
around. Okay, there I saw. There you go. There you go. Pull it back just a little bit. There you
There-
go.
there he
Oh,
is.
wow.
Nice.
Very
He's not
handsome.
quite as tall as the
Handsome.
tree though, is he?
Thank you. Oh, he's good. And the Christmas tree behind him.
Yeah, that's nice, Paulette. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
There's a lady, I'm on the second floor, Dusty. There's a lady that lives below me who is always out on her patio. And their parking space is out on the parking lot, and people are always walking by. And she'll sit out there and talk to people all day long.
Yeah,
And
that's
all I
good.
have to do is open my door and listen. And I can hear her catching all the gossip from everybody coming and going. And I don't have to be in the middle of it.
The grandson's name is Oscar.
Hello, Oscar. You'll have to wish him a Merry Christmas from all of us.
I will do that.
Yeah,
And his brother's name is Sam.
Sam. And they're the ones you're not seeing because they're in California.
Right, yeah.
You
We
give them our
normally be
best.
out there. We've
Right.
spent the last 10 years out there at Christmas. It just seems so weird. It doesn't even seem like Christmas.
Oh, yeah. What do y'all think about gratitude this year in the midst of COVID and Christmas? How is gratitude different than it was last year?
Well, I mean,
No, you're fine.
well, it's hard to have gratitude when you don't really see a lot of people. You have it's a lot more like you're happy with what you're doing. It's more self gratitude than we people that bring us stuff we're very thankful for.
Mhm.
But I really miss going out and having dinner with some people or just doing something out with them.
Mhm.
But no, I'm pretty grateful for just about everything, really.
And the lady sitting to your right.
You know, I kind of have a different spin on it than he does
Tell me.
because I've noticed with our friends, everybody is much more chill this year.
Yeah,
It's not. Several are having a pajama Christmas day, and before they never would do that. They'd be up at the crack of dawn doing 500 things at once in the kitchen, and everybody is kind of slowed down, and I think that's a good thing. I think there's a lot to be said about that.
There really is.
Oh, I agree wholeheartedly.
Do
Yeah.
you find that it slowed you down, Myra?
Yes,
Yeah. Yeah. We can take our time because we're not going anywhere.
that's right.
Yeah. Paulette, does that ring a bell with you?
Oh, yeah, it's so ringing so hard in my head, I can hardly.
You're up in the bell tower, huh?
I'm swinging with the bells. Back and forth with that ringer in the middle.
Yeah, you're the clapper.
The clapper.
the clapper. That's right.
So Paulette, things are more chill at your house than they were last year.
More chilled?
Chill because of
Cooler,
COVID and you're
slower.
not going
Slower.
Yeah,
anywhere.
well, I mean,
Slower,
we're in our house and we wouldn't have been here. We've been out in California.
right?
So, yeah.
So your Christmas day looks a lot different than it did last year.
Oh, well, the good news is that we're going for Christmas dinner to the daughter who lives here in Southlake. So we'll
Oh,
be
that's
out
good.
there.
Oh, yay. And you took time to be with us before you go.
Yeah. She's not
Thank you.
Thank
seeing
you.
us until
How
2:30.
sweet. Yeah.
That works. That's fine. Yeah.
We sacrificed opening Christmas presents to be here. We'll have to do them later.
Whoa. Whoa.
Now, my
Who's
husband.
been watching.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
That's your elf on the shelf?
Elf on a shelf.
Yes. I tried to put him on my shoulder and he kept falling off. He's a little drunk elf.
A deaf drunk elf.
Yeah. I've been watching.
Oh, Abigail.
Paulette, what time do y'all plan to leave?
Oh, Heather's just out in South Lake, so we'll leave here about 2 and we'll be at her place at 2:30.
Okay, so you're not up against a time crunch,
No, oh no, we're nowhere near a time crunch.
right?
Oh,
Dusty.
they are when they were little.
Oh, isn't that the truth? Oh my
Oh my
God,
Oh my
gosh.
goodness.
your children,
Yeah, that's Heather and Holly.
which is which?
The one with the braids is Holly, the more blonde one. This one is Heather.
They are gorgeous.
Yes, they are.
Nice.
and
You
this
did a
one's Holly.
really good job in the children department.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't
They're,
have any,
17 months apart.
well, you
Wow.
got it over with, didn't you?
Well, we got off to kind of a late start. I was pretty old when I had the first one. I mean, back in our day, you didn't have your first kid when you were 29.
Yes. That was called a late life baby not too long ago.
Yeah, so anyway, we had Heather first. And I always remember the OBGYN had this floor mat in front of his door
Mhm.
before you came into his office, and it says, "This is where you come when you're through playing games."
That's
Okay,
funny.
so Heather was born in St. Louis. We moved into our house on a Wednesday. The following Friday, we had company from out of town. The next Friday, I had Heather.
Oh, wow.
And she was born in St. Louis, which is my hometown.
That was a lot of
Unfortunately, we
change.
got over there and they could babysit and do all that good stuff for us. And then we got moved.
Right.
And Holly was born in San Antonio.
My goodness. So you moved around a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heather took 17 hours to arrive.
Yeah.
And I didn't want any anesthetic in their bodies or anything else. So I took classes in natural childbirth. And my husband was the very first guy the hospital in St. Louis allowed into the delivery room.
Wow.
And I had it with no anesthetic because I didn't want to put poison in her system.
Yeah.
And then this was back in the days with Dr. What's his face? Well, what was his name? Spock.
Spock.
And I chose to nurse them because I didn't want to put bad stuff in their system. So I nursed them
Mhm.
and baked all my bread with stone ground wheat flour, because if you ground the wheat with stone, it didn't overheat it and kill the germs in it.
Wow.
Not the germs, the
Nutrition.
yeah, the nutrition, the little
Yeah.
things. So
That's amazing.
So,
Oh,
I mean,
Janine, welcome, welcome.
Janine,
hey, hi.
Dusty, I know that, Dusty, I'm going to ask you something and you can say no if you want to.
No.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I have asked Paulette if she will read a couple of her poems to us, and I was wondering if you might want to play a song on your guitar today. Would you mind doing that as sort of a Christmas present to us?
I could do that.
Oh, that'd be great.
Who wants to go first?
It don't matter.
Well, if
Go ahead.
Dusty,
Go ahead, Paulette.
Paulette,
Okay, what
she's gonna
color did
read-
you decide you wanted?
let's see, what we do?
White.
White and
White,
green. No, white and red.
white and red.
White and red.
Okay. I
Good
searched
morning,
in black
Janine.
and white and it told me I am all the colors of the visible spectrum and beyond. I'm much more than that. I learned that white is awe and reverence. White is now. White is time. White replied that it is both a wave and a particle. I am the speed limit of the universe. Nothing travels faster than I do. I am light. I'm the fastest thing anywhere. No one can outrace me. White also added, some people say that God often rides through the universe on the waves and particles of light. White is silent. It is the absence of sound. When it is so quiet that all you can hear is your own breathing, the pause between breaths is the sound of white moving through the universe. You can only imagine where white has traveled and all the things that it has seen. Oh, if only white would talk more and more. And you imagine the stories it would tell of other worlds and other places and maybe even other universes.
Mm.
White is the silence of the clouds drifting by. It's the soft touch of cotton and a feather comforter. It's being tickled by a feather. It touches your cheek. White is the softness of falling snowflakes that melt upon your skin. It is marshmallows and meringue on pies, and milk for your cookies and vanilla ice cream. White is serenity and calm, and just like black, white is magic. White is love, it is purity. White is peace beyond all understanding. White just is.
Very nice.
Wow. That
Wow.
took the engineer, didn't it?
Thank you.
Yes, I like that one.
That
Okay.
wave and particle gets me
Particles
every
or
time.
waves, and light is waves and particles. That's a poem for me.
Yeah, there you
And
go.
that's true, isn't it, Don?
Mhm.
It's true. Yeah. Okay, so you're going to read Red for us, Paulette?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
In the heat of passion, red demanded to be heard. I am a driving force that moves the world. I am creativity, passion, love, and even hatred. I am the most complex of all the colors. I am an unsolvable puzzle. Red has both the passion of love and the passion of hate. Red is the heat of lava from a volcano, the love for others and the hatred of others. Red is words spoken in passion. Red is temptation. Red is the smell of smoke and burning leaves in the fall. It's the aroma of a roast cooking in the oven. It is also the aroma of the barbecue at a family picnic. Red is the taste of hot sauce and jalapeno peppers. It's the sound of the crunch of chips dipped in hot sauce. It is the heat of hot liquid in a roaring fire. It is the sound of a storm and the roar of an engine. Red is the creative heat from an exploding supernova deep in space. It is the blood from an artery. Red is the sound of a heart beating. Red declared, I am a dichotomy of good and evil, hate and love. I am forever complex. I am red. I am life.
Wow.
That's a good one too.
Thank you. Thank you.
Those are terrific.
They sure are. I hope you put those in a book, a color book.
Or a
Oh,
children's book.
I've thought
Sure.
about that. My husband and I are trying to put a book together. So this might be a good way to start.
Keep
Oh,
us posted.
congratulations. Hey, I love it. See, coughing into your arm.
Yep.
Germs. Yay.
So,
Okay.
Dusty, what have you decided to play for us today?
Silent Night's the only Christmas song I remember a whole verse of, so I'll do one verse of Silent Night.
Okay.
And I don't. I may have to stop and start because I'm not sure about the key here.
We're with you, Dusty. We're just all sitting around.
Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin mother and child, holy infant, so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace. Sleep in heavenly peace. That wasn't much, but that's it.
Oh,
That's
Dusty,
great. Thank you,
No,
Paul.
it was terrific.
Thank you, Dusty.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
you're the only Christmas song I've heard this week. There's been so much else on. Thank you so much. That
Sure,
warms my heart.
sure.
It
Oh,
sure.
he could play it again and we could all sing with him.
Do you feel like playing it again, Dusty?
Sure. Silent night, holy night, all is calm, All is bright
Bright
round yon virgin mother and
and
child.
child,
Holy so
so tender and mild.
mild. Sleep in heavenly peace. Sleep in heavenly peace. I messed it up that time.
Oh, Dusty, I
Oh,
didn't,
you
I
fine.
didn't hear it.
Perfect.
I messed it up too,
Thank
but
you.
Dusty, so I said the wrong words at the last verse, so.
We're a chorus.
That's right.
We're a
You're
chorus.
fantastic.
And Janine even
We
came
could go
off
on
of her.
tour,
We could, couldn't we?
a Zoom tour.
A Zoom tour, yeah.
Janine even came off of silent to sing with us. That's great.
That's great.
I have one more question for us.
Yes.
What gave you a positive surprise this year of COVID?
Uh,
Okay, I'll go.
Okay.
We hooked up with this dementia friendly group
Yeah.
Yeah, that's for sure.
because I'd heard about it, but we do 2 Alzheimer's support groups, and I thought I just don't need to mess with adding something else to, because we had a pretty good, and with the pandemic and them going virtual and not going anywhere, we needed more. And this has been a wonderful find for us. Wonderful.
I'm grateful to hear that.
Yes.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love everybody on it. And I'm just so excited that we found it, even though I don't live in Fort Worth. They let me in anyway.
Fort Worth and Dallas, and we love you.
We're in Dallas, so we're close. So if you ever have a
That's right.
function where we go out and get together when all this COVID stuff is over,
Paulette, what gave you a positive surprise this year?
what gave me a
Mhm.
positive? Oh, this group for one thing. Yeah, I love it.
Mhm.
It's wonderful. Yeah.
Did you find time to do things, or did you discover you don't need an alarm clock, or did you discover you like a certain time of day, or how did slowing down and being with the COVID, what do you call it, tempo?
Mhm.
What did that? What did you find
Oh,
different?
well, it gave me more time to email the kids and stuff like that. They don't answer me, of course, but hey. And talk with the grandkids, and gave me time to write some more kids' stories and do more creative things that I normally would just think about doing, but now I've actually done some of them. And yeah.
No time to put it off anymore. This is the time.
Yeah, so I wrote a few more stories about colors that I hadn't gotten done, so.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Dusty, what have you found that's a positive about this year being different?
well, the only thing I can think of is it's actually been financially better for me. I've not spent any money on gasoline, and I have a buku of food stamps built up from them sending extra food stamps, and then they got the stimulus check, and which was something I wouldn't have had.
Mm-hmm.
So unfortunately, that don't make up for not being able to get out, but
Yeah.
that's the only thing positive I can think of right now.
That's a lot of positive in my book.
That's right.
Yeah, that makes what you have go further.
Yep.
Yeah,
Can I just add one thing real quick?
of course you can.
I got to meet this group, and this group is such a special part in my life. I just love everybody here and what they say and how they react and all that. And I just love it.
Thank
And
you, Paulette. We love you too.
One of the big pluses.
Absolutely. And we need each other, don't we?
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Great support group. And I just want to say I love y'all so much. And I'm so grateful to have found you, even though I'm in Dallas and that's where we're. So,
Yeah, that's what I said a while ago. You have to have somebody to talk to.
Absolutely.
and I just love y'all, and I'm just so grateful to have found this group. Thank you.
And the way you smile when you say that makes me know you mean it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
We
thank
can
you.
see that without a mask, and that's a good thing about
Yeah, that's a good
I
thing
That's
too.
true.
not having to wear a mask. I get to wear lipstick when I talk to you guys, and I don't get to wear lipstick any other time. Because every time I walk out the door, I have to put on a mask, and it gets messy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Janine, I see you took yourself off of mute. Tell us what surprises you have discovered this year.
Technology,
Yeah.
using more technology to communicate. Um, Obviously, Zoom with this group and others, and uh, getting to, I actually talk with Daddy more now than we did before, um, because we talk, several times a week, and that's been really nice. And then there's also a thing called Twitter, not
Okay.
Twitter, not Twitter, Twitch,
Twitch.
Twitch,
Yeah.
twitch.tv, where I have found several groups of people that I go online and play games with a lot, and connecting to people through technology has been what is positive for me this year.
That's awesome. And you don't have to wear lipstick either.
No, or pants either.
TMI.
I heard someone say the other day, now with Zoom, all we have to do is lace up from the waist up.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, that's a common joke on the Twitch groups. Is you don't have to wear pants.
Right. That's right. Absolutely. So how are we hoping that next year will be different? What are we looking forward to with all the progress that we're making with COVID?
Well, I'm hoping that this vaccine starts making a difference.
Mhm.
Yeah. There's a couple of vaccines. I think Myra and I are going, more interested in the last one that came out,
The
the
Moderna
Moderna
Mhm.
and the Pfizer.
and the Pfizer one. Yeah.
Can you educate me about how they're different? I don't know.
There've just been a few more reactions with the Pfizer than with the Moderna one.
Adverse reactions?
Adverse
yeah.
reactions, yes.
And isn't Moderna just one shot instead of have to go get a second one?
That I don't know.
Okay.
I was thinking you had to have two on both of them, but I'm not
That's
sure.
probably true.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'll be interested to see how far down the list each of us is.
Yeah.
Since it's starting out with the first responders and the people in the hospitals and the fire department and the people in the nursing homes, and then where do you go?
Yeah. Well, I'm afraid that Myra and I won't get the virus till we turn 65.
You mean the shot?
The shot till we
Right.
turn 65. Yeah.
Mhm.
Because I don't see anywhere in the picture where they're getting down to our level. We're like in the fourth category of everybody else, along with most people in the United States.
Yeah.
You're healthy and mobile and young and
Right.
don't have a lot of COVID.
Well, not young, but
We're not 65.
we're not 65 yet. So
So that is young, I guess.
Hey, that's very young.
Yeah, it is.
Young to a lot of us. Yes. Yes.
I'm probably the oldest one here.
Well, it's kind of like my sister and I used to compare tans. We'd put our arms next to each other and say, who's got the better tan? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You're only as old as your heart.
Oh my God, I'm old.
Uh-oh.
Older than I thought.
John wants to tell about what his thoughts are on COVID.
Oh, please, John, tell us.
I don't know. I think I like the things that y'all said, and I like to see Janine enjoying keeping up with something. again because she had like stopped keeping up with new things as she did when we were young. And but so I've enjoyed seeing her get into doing that again and see that she's happy doing that again.
Oh, that's-
And I've enjoyed John's support.
Isn't it good if you have somebody that cares about you and supports what you want?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a wonderful part of marriage or anything, any relationship really. But
Now, Dusty, you and I can pull support from each other and from the group.
There you go.
Yes, we don't have to have someone in our pod to get support,
No, but it sure would be nice.
wouldn't it? Yeah, yeah.
Robert says
Great neighbors.
Yeah.
Robert says he likes being by himself, but
Mhm.
I'm not built that way.
Well,
But I've been that way a lot of my life, though.
Dusty, I'm glad you're in our group. You make it more colorful and spicy.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, yeah. That makes a big difference. It
I
sure
thought I was kind of being mundane.
Oh, there's nothing mundane about you, Dusty. Uh-uh.
Mm-mm.
No. Just think about all the things you're going to get to do once we get our vaccines, and I hear that when the new president comes along, he's going to ask the first 100 days if everyone would please wear a mask for the first 100 days.
Yeah.
And see if we can knock this thing in the head.
Yeah.
If he can get America to do that, think of what a good progress that will be toward knocking down the deaths and the illnesses that are plaguing us right now.
Yeah, that'd be great if folks would do it. But people that I know that not wearing masks, I don't think you could convince them to wear one, period.
Yeah, same with us.
Wow.
I just don't understand their thinking.
And there's no counting for taste either. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
That's
Bob, you were going to say something?
No, I'm like Russell. I don't understand why people are reluctant.
To wear a
Yeah.
mask. I mean, how hard is that?
Yeah, I did some research on the three major Abrahamic religions, and they all say the same thing.
Do no
Yeah.
harm.
What do they say?
In Leviticus 19, the Jews have a saying that says, "Love your neighbor as yourself."
Yes.
In the Quran, he doesn't say it, but Muhammad, the author of the Quran, it's called the Sunnah, he's quoted as saying the same thing. And Christians all know that's what Christ brought. So why is it that if we love our neighbor, we have reluctance to love him by not wearing a mask?
yeah. I think a lot of people
You're right.
Mhm.
confuse common sense with some patriotic. The government's not going to tell me what to do, kind of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, it precedes a religion.
Yeah,
there you go. Well, maybe with love and a different group in the White House, the attitude may change, and we can pray and hope for that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Hopefully.
That's one of the things I'm looking forward to in this coming year is a change in the atmosphere of our country and what we see as possible again. I'm looking forward to more love and less hate.
Yes.
Me too.
Yes. We can
I'm
hold our
excited
hands up
there's
and
a
pray
woman
for them.
vice president.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yes.
A multicultural female. Yes, absolutely. Well, it looks like we've come to 11:15. Does anybody else have any parting shots that you'd like to share? Anything that you didn't get to say that you want to say?
I hope everyone has happy holidays,
yep.
good health.
Absolutely. You're
We'll
right.
be here again
Colette.
tomorrow.
Ditto.
Well,
Comment
take
that
it
I
else
just
if you got your
wanted to-
bonbons.
And Merry Christmas.
Oh,
Yes.
thank
Merry
you,
Christmas,
Jeanine.
everybody.
Merry
I'm eating the
Christmas.
rest of my bonbons.
He's got a
today.
comment. Bob has one quick comment.
Bob, great.
Bob?
Yeah, I've learned from my daughter, my elder daughter, that there's a certain time in life the children become the adults.
Yeah.
and the adults become children. And I've never thought about how relevant that is to my situation. She said, Dad, you know, they say it about 3 times to make sure you're listening. Dad, she actually accused me pretty much of having a pity party when I found out about my cancer.
Whoa.
I listened because she had a double mastectomy this year. And we both of us tried to do the right thing.
Wow.
And so she straightened me out. She sounded like one of the drill sergeants I had when I was 17.
Good for her. Good for her.
I'm going to take lessons from her.
Good. Paulette, you mentioned something that I want to address. You said, I've spent more time sending notes to my children than I used to, and they don't answer me.
Uh-huh.
I want to tell you, and I may cry telling you this. My mother used to do that with me, and she would reach out to me, and I was a busy professional woman, and I didn't always answer. And now that she's not here, I wish I'd answered her more.
Absolutely.
Oh,
So you just keep on loving those daughters and
I
send those
will.
messages.
Oh, gosh, there's
And
no way.
someday they will feel like I do and wish that they'd spent more time with you.
Yeah, I do. I agree with you. I understand.
Absolutely. That's the best thing I can think of is love within a family. If you've got it, treasure it. And if
Oh,
you
yeah,
don't,
for
you
sure.
make a family out of this group. That's what
right.
I'm
Yeah.
doing.
That's
Yep,
what
for
we've
sure.
done.
Absolutely. Well, here we are. Let's see if I can do this again.
Thank you, Martha.
Oh, it is totally my pleasure.
Oh, you do such a good job. Thank you.
Now, Martha, here we are. Now, I did this right earlier today. I'm going to go out and come in again.
Okay.
I tried to teach I did this about 6 times this morning. Share screen,
I don't know.
PowerPoint. Okay.
There you go.
There you go.
Perfect.
See this?
Yes.
Yay. Our Monday is Frog Bingo with TCU Nursing. And it's still in December. So anybody that wins more games, you know, at the end of the month,
That's
she
right.
counts it up and somebody gets a prize.
That's right.
Absolutely. And it looks like Dusty has moved on to a telephone call. So I'll just say, God bless you all. Merry Christmas.
Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas, everybody. See you Monday.
Thank you for joining us. You've made my whole day.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.